Hey, what's up, guys? Jesus Barron here with Lead and Bacon Podcast. Welcome to my podcast. I'm excited today. Episode 9, InfoWars, the war you can't win. Well, here we are. This war that we have in the Middle East again. And something strange about this particular war is the amount of propaganda, the amount of bias in the media, the very different problems that we're facing with people's opinions, whether they're factual or not. We are being bombarded with biased information or with the intent to cause confusion, division, or just keep us overall misinformed. Now, whether it's politically motivated, religious motivated, or just with the sole intent of creating problems for our country, it's having the impact. It really is. And why do I call it the war that we can't win? Well, because it's just that. It's a war that we can't win. You know, one of the things that I've been facing is I will go on TikTok, as you may or may not know, for those that follow me on TikTok. You can go on these lives. You're scrolling through TikTok and you come across somebody's page. And at the very bottom, it'll have some kind of a statement. For example, it'll say something like, "Free Palestine from the river to the sea." And you'll click on the live and you'll try to comment. Usually you'll get silenced or you'll get blocked or removed. And it could be as simple as, who named Palestine, Palestina, and then blocked immediately. You can't win. There's no room for dialogue nowadays. The problem with today is that we have people that are so stubborn on their opinions that whether they are wrong or right, they will not change. They are stuck in their ways. It's impossible to have a real dialogue with people that are just closed off, or that we live in a society that we want instant gratification and instant validation for what we believe in, that we will side in our own echo chambers, even if it's fake. We have actors, we have foreign actors, whether it's Iran, Russia, China, North Korea. It's been a long process. You see, my background in the military, I'm not saying I'm anything special, but what I do know, based on what I've experienced, is that cyber warfare is a real thing. Cyber warfare, the ability to manipulate the systems that we have in place, for example, social media, our networks, our news outlets. Cyber warfare, propaganda is a form of cyber warfare. That's why we have all these different bots. We have all these different fake accounts. You have these fake profiles that have very attractive women with like 4 pictures and 2 followers. But now they're getting more creative and picking people that are not as attractive and have a little bit more followers and more likes. But it's just to cause problems. You know, when the main shooter happened, the mass shooter, I went to an ABC News live on TikTok. And there was this one post that kept appearing. It kept appearing over and over. And it said something along the lines of, "Be careful, this man is a former IDF soldier. He is killing everybody." Now, it kept popping up over and over and over. And I would notice other people replying to that, like, "How do you know it was a former IDF person? How do you know?" And of course, it wasn't. And I clicked on that profile and it had 0 likes, 0 followers, 0 anything. It was just a bot. The purpose of that bot is to maybe, in commenting constantly, putting out, "That's an IDF soldier, that's an IDF soldier, that's an IDF soldier," is to create resentment or hate towards the Jews. That's just one example. But there's many examples, either through our own government. We have the FBI that was greatly involved in Twitter before Elon Musk purchased Twitter, now X. And it basically became a branch of the government. A branch of the government that would censor specifically people that were conservative or that had a different narrative that didn't go along with the narrative this administration or whoever administration was pushing for. Basically using the same tactics that Russia uses, that China uses, that Iran uses, or North Korea uses, but against its own people. You see, when a nation is united, when a nation is informed, when a nation is educated, it is a strong, powerful nation. See, the United States in itself, because of our military might, because of the financial resources, our logistics, and the way that we operate, we are the most powerful country in the world. There has been no country like the United States in the history of mankind. The Roman Empire, nobody's empire has been like our country. Our country has a capacity to put 1,000 troops over in some little island in a matter of hours. Fully fueled, fully prepared with food, ammunition, medical supplies, everything, and be self-sustaining. That has never been possible in the history of mankind. You see, our adversaries realize that because of our nation, because of the laws that we have, that we enjoy, the freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, being First and Second Amendment. Then you have all the other ones. We are strong because our people are the ones that's empowered. It's not the government. It's not the military. It's our people. When the people is strong, our country is strong. So the only way they can create a weak country is from within. Division. You have to be able to destabilize a country by creating or enforcing, for example, the idea of social programs. When you create social programs, it creates dependency. When you create dependency, it creates a strain on the working class. When you have a working class that's being overworked, you start having the economy fall. When the economy falls, it creates more problems. Not only that, you fight it from another ideological point. You start introducing other ideologies, LGBTQ, Black Lives Matter, this, that, everything, right? And you create division. And I'm not here saying I agree or disagree with either of those topics. I'm just saying these are examples of things that we are divided right now. You have, for example, pro-choice or abortion or pro-life, pro-choice, right? Literally anything and everything that we could argue about right now is being multiplied, if not made worse, by bots, foreign people that are actively involved in ensuring that we are fighting amongst ourselves, creating propaganda. For example, Hamas. I saw this gentleman, I wish I could include it in this video, where initially when Hamas started launching rockets towards Israel, he was celebrating. And then when Israel responded, he was crying. And then a separate video, that same guy, he was going through wreckage, picking up what appeared to be like shoes or teddy bears, something like that. And then in a separate video, he was on a stretcher with the shirt off, pretending to be a victim of such bombings. And then the next day, he was again reacting to, quote unquote, the catastrophe that was in Gaza. So obviously there's actors. We can't lie to ourselves. There's actors. There's the manipulation of the numbers. They're spitting out numbers, and our media is just swallowing it up, man. Like, We are not vetting this information. And it doesn't help that we have a government that doesn't ensure that our media is telling the truth, or that at least our media makes an attempt to ensure that the information that they're giving our people is correct. Not only that, they have a bias point of view where they're giving information to only half of the country so they could cater to a certain agenda, a certain idea. So when I say that this is a war you can't win, it's a war you can't win. It legitimately is a war that you can't win. You can sit there and argue your point with facts, articles, pull up news clippings, pull up videos, everything, and you're not going to win. It doesn't matter. The truth doesn't matter. Kind of reminds me of this show called Whose Line Is It Anyway, where, one of the catchphrases is, the points don't matter, and here the facts don't matter. But I'll tell you what we need to do as Americans is forget trying to win these conversations. Just forget to try to win these info wars, because, like I said, you're not going to win. The only thing you can do is continue to be a good person. Break away from all that information, from all those false things you keep hearing, and walk outside. Just walk outside. Walk outside your door, meet people, talk to people, engage with people, see it for yourself. Go talk to a Palestinian, talk to a Jewish person, talk to a black person, talk to a Mexican person, an Asian person, whatever. You base your own information on what you can see. Not on somebody, even including myself, on what somebody's telling you. You have the ability to use your own feet, to walk out, formulate your own ideas, interview your own people, see the world for what it is, and make your own decision that way. Don't rely on social media. Don't rely on CNN, ABC News, MSNBC, Fox News. Nobody. Why? Why do you have to depend on media? You have the capacity. Not only that, big thing going on right now is deep fakes. What's a deep fake? Well, they take somebody's face, run it to a program, an artificial intelligence program, and they can literally make it look like somebody gave a speech that the actual person never gave. You could have, for example, they had one with Greta Thunberg, talking about making vegan grenades or something like that. And it was supposed to be made as a funny video, which it was. It was hilarious. But the scary thing about that is that a lot of people think that this is real. You could have Donald Trump saying something. You could have Joe Biden saying something and never know whether or not it was real. So how do we go through all this information? You could only go by vetting, researching as much as you can before you even start saying stuff on the internet. It is our responsibility as individuals, unless you are trying to cause harm. Granted, no matter what I say, you're going to continue doing harm. But if you're somebody that's a patriot that wants to make sure that people have the best, most reliable information, it's important that you do your research. It's important that you vet the information that you're getting and go from there. But like I said, even then, you're not going to win. And it's not about winning. It's about trying to make small changes. But the changes really start at home. You have to disconnect. You have to put aside all those things because it's going to stress you out. You're going to be tired. You're going to be exhausted, mentally exhausted from hearing people spew lies, spew hate. You're going to see these news clippings and news articles, and you're just going to be tired of hearing the same crap all the time. So what do you do? How do you affect the change? How do you ensure that the American way of life doesn't get lost? Well, it starts at home. It starts by unplugging, going home, having dinner with your family, going for a walk, enjoying your freedom that you have. If you're a person that likes going to the range, go to the range, blow off a couple rounds and release some steam. Read a book, read your Bible, go to church, sing some songs, listen to a podcast. Exercise, eat healthy, educate your children, go ride a horse, feed your animals, go for a walk, take your dog for a walk. Be an overall good person. No one's saying you can't stand up for what is right. No one says that you should silence your voice and your opinions and always trying to base it on facts, of course. No one's saying for you not to do that. What I'm saying is that you need to be able to realize that people nowadays just are built different. They don't care. So long as whatever information they have suits them, that's what they're going to go with. So don't let it trouble your soul. Don't let it get to you. The only thing you can do, like I said, is stand up for freedom. Stand up for the American values. Stand up for your own convictions, your virtues, whether they're based in what you think is good or religious or in God. You have to have a solid base. And when it comes to a time that you actually have to do something for your country, do it. With virtue, with honor, with integrity. You have to stand up for your country. Be prepared. If you have to fight for your country, fight for your country. But don't think you're going to win the war on information. You're not. They're going to keep demonizing firearms. They're going to keep trying to take your rights away. Terrorism and evil is going to grow. It's going to grow. I'm sorry. It's going to grow. It's not a matter of when if. It's not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's when it's going to happen. What I'm talking about is terrorist attacks on our country. I hate bringing this topic up over and over again. And yes, I only have 7 subscribers right now on YouTube. And yes, I only have a little bit of following. But until I get people listening, I'm going to keep going. We have to be ready. You have to get your family in order. You have to have extra resources, water, food, money on the side, ammunition, guns, whatever. Get your physical fitness up. Get your home in order. Learn how to do something. We have to demand that our government listens to us also. There's peaceful ways of doing it. It's not always protesting. You know, we are tired of protesters. I'm personally tired of protesters. It seems like we don't get anywhere. We don't. It doesn't matter. I mean, good for them for exercising their rights. But the only way you can affect change is on the individual level. Talk to people. Talk to your peers. Lead through example. This is how I live my life. And they're going to be like, I like how he lives his life. I'm going to copy what he does. I'm going to live the way that he does. That's a good person. Hey, why are you the way that you are? Well, this is what I believe in. This is what I do. Awesome. Thank you for that. I'm going to do the same thing. You mean to tell me you're not ashamed of being American? Nope, I'm not. But you're Mexican. Yes, I am. Why did you assimilate? Because I love this country. Are you ashamed of being Mexican? No, I'm not. I love being of Mexican descent. They took your land. They took this. You know what? I can't control that. I'm just thankful that they did, because where I live would be just like Mexico. And I'm sorry, I don't like Mexico the way it is. I like Mexico for what it represents, my people, but I would not live in Mexico, I'll tell you that much. See, these are the kind of conversations you have to have with people and try to use logic and reason. But if you can't win, leave it at that. Don't get stuck in that world. It's going to continue. Propaganda is not going to stop. So long as we have these foreign adversaries like Russia, China, again, Iran, and pretty much the rest of the world that hates the United States, it's going to continue. So be mindful of what you see. Be mindful of what you read. And remember, if it's too far right or too far left, it's probably that the truth is right in the middle somewhere. You have to zoom out, look at everything, and try to do the best to piece together everything based on the information that you have. Be prepared. Stay on your toes. Head on a swivel. Don't be ashamed to say that you're getting ready. And realize that the only way that you can be informed is through yourself, your eyes, your ears, personal experience. And be prepared, guys. Be prepared. That's how you can affect change. Be a good person. Be strong. And do not waver on your rights. Take care, guys. My name is Jesus Barron, Let 'em Bacon Podcast. I appreciate you guys. Have a good day. Oh, please tell me I recorded something.